Hey, what's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. You already know it is a beautiful, beautiful day to be legendary. All right, my friends, look, I've got another fantastic guest. His name is Brett, and well, let's find out where the hell he's calling in from. Brett, welcome to the show, my brother.
Hey, Dave, welcome. Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. Thank you for being willing to come on. Where are you calling in from?
From Prague, actually, from Czech Republic.
Wow. Worldwide,
But,
baby.
yeah, and beautiful day as well here. So it's nice to be on the call.
Well, when they say www dot, right, that stands for World Wide Web, doesn't it?
Yes.
And look at us, man. Worldwide here. You know, I think that's a fascinating concept for somebody who's brand new to kind of wrap their head around, is the fact that they literally can generate customers and obviously make money from clients, customers that are all over the world. I mean, is that mind-boggling for you? I don't even know that I fully wrapped my head around that even after over a decade.
Look, I love this because I practice martial arts and I have local martial arts school, and I can only teach that locally because I cannot do it online because I cannot touch people. I don't know. So I only get paid when I teach. Yeah. And right now, what's happening? My school is closed for around a year. So, it's really like, for me, it was like, I have to do something, and the internet is, like you said, is really powerful. I mean, with that, you can learn anything you want. You don't need to go to school because you can learn anything you want online. And then if you are smart and you apply it, then, why not having this World Wide Web and make a business from it? Yeah.
So let's tell us a little bit about that. What has 2020 been like for you? You have a martial. You're a tell me what you are. First of all, you're a black belt. You're
I actually teach Chinese martial arts called Wing Chun, and if they saw the movie Ip Man, so they have different versions. So for example, in the version 4, my teacher from Hong Kong is in it. So he's a US Marine actually, but he moved to Hong Kong, and I go to Hong Kong to study with him, and then I'm his representative for Czech Republic. Wow. And basically it's something like black belt, but we don't have black belts. We just have the title of instructor.
Okay. So in 2020, coronavirus has forced you to shut that down. So you basically were without. You were sort of kind of had an unwelcome surprise, right? That happened at the beginning of the year. So talk us through how that happened and what eventually led you to getting either back online. Tell us a little bit about that backstory.
For me, it was really, I don't want to say devastating, right? Because I'm still here, but I really felt almost like depressed. And then I was like, man, I do martial arts, and why if I feel that way, then how other people who don't have the mentality that I have, how they can feel. So I was like, this is really wrong. And for a week after, because I paid for my studio, I had to rent it out, and I did not even get money back, or I even didn't, the owner didn't come and say, hey, today you only were here for a week and then you had to close down, so we don't charge you. But I still had to pay for the month, and then I basically said goodbye to the money. So I said, you know what, I cancel my contract for the studio for now, and I try to teach privately, in my own home, outside. But right now we can't even go outside without basically the mask. Here is crazy, so people are scared, and I just have to somehow survive this. So online is probably the best thing.
So you were what led you to Legendary? Tell us how you found us.
Okay.
And what you thought when you found us, and kind of what your experience has been like so far.
in 2020 when I started to really figuring out what to do with myself, and I found different courses on like YouTube videos. So I changed my martial arts YouTube channel to like make money online YouTube channel, and it was like, it's crazy, but you know, I did that, you know, so I still have some martial arts video there, and the YouTube didn't push my content, so I work really extremely hard, like 100 videos and no success. And then I tried to do different things, and you know, blogging, but you know, because English is not my native language, so I'm like, man, to come up with text like 2,000 words is like, it's really, it's not for me. So, but I like video. So then I've seen somebody doing TikToks, like maybe it was like summer 2020, and I downloaded the app, look at it, and I said, this is not for me. It's like all these kids there. So I really give up on it. But then like around November, somebody, I was on email list of someone, I don't even know who was that, but I start focusing more on like, hey, affiliate marketing is probably good because I don't need to have the products, and there's already courses and products out there that people who are really good at it, that they created. So why like me, like nobody, I don't have the support of hundreds of people that will say, hey Brett, we're gonna buy your course. But I know that like you guys or others, they do. And I've got email about TikTok. So, and it was the 15, how you guys call it, 15-day, 15 free leads, 15 seconds leads or something like that. Yeah.
15 seconds
so
free.
I got it, and I got, you know, the cheat sheet, and I said, okay, I watched all those guys on the video, and I said, this looks good. And then I actually get the Marketers Club, and I started watching, instead of going and watch Netflix like I used to. I Legendary Marketers Club was my Netflix, and it still is. And I watched every day like 5 videos. It's like 6 hours a day on, especially Matt. I watch a lot of his videos because early he is on those videos. And then I realized that this education, these webinars are really good. And I learned a couple of things about like Facebook marketing. And I said, I'm gonna try Facebook marketing for whatever I needed. And I started applying the skills for my businesses, and I've seen results. And I said, damn, there are courses online that cost like, I don't know, $400, $500 on Facebook, for example. And here I am paying like, I don't know, some really low cost Marketers Club, and I get all the information I need there. You know, not only about the Facebook ads, but I watched about the psychology of selling and copywriting. And I really like that. It's like, I've never seen basically a platform that has everything you need to, if you want, that you can find anything you want to learn, and then you can start applying. And that's what I really like about it. And I canceled all my membership fees. I paid like $40 there and $50 there, $97 there on different courses on YouTube, Facebook, affiliate. And then I canceled it because all I need basically is this. And I really like it. I know it, maybe I'm going to sound like salesman right now, but I really do like it.
Yeah. Well, we're thrilled that you do. And so you've also used these skill sets, particularly at some of the advertising, paid ads and so forth. Your wife or fiance has an e-commerce business. Is that right? And so you've helped to apply. How have you used some of these skill sets that you've learned to be able to help grow her business?
First of all, we changed the mindset about how to actually go about and find new customers for that products. And what we did is we started putting more story into it, because here in Czech Republic, nobody is doing stories. Everybody, when I go to see the ads, everybody's like, hey, buy my perfume, buy my shoes, buy my this. But it's like, who is this person? So right now we change it around with what I learned in those Matt's webinars in Legendary, and it worked. And people, what's really cool about this is that people start to engaging, and they start to liking, commenting, and asking questions. And I think that for Facebook, if they see that you have this engagement, the ad cost is going low. So it's good.
So you're using, so instead of, she's got a physical product, right?
Yes.
She's got some sort of a physical product, candles or something like that, right?
Yes. Homemade candles.
Okay. And so what you were doing before, I want everybody to hear this really closely, because this is very important, particularly if you're wanting to run Facebook ads. A lot of you guys are wanting to run Facebook ads. And this applies to all marketing. It doesn't matter what the technique or the strategy is, whether it's Facebook ads, whether it's YouTube ads, whether it's free TikTok videos. But you were basically just pitching the benefits of the product at first. You were just kind of selling the product, just like kind of everybody else was. Hey, buy my product. Here's why my product is great. Yes. And what you started to do was inject telling stories about the product and telling stories about yourselves and why you created the product into the ads, which made the ad copy probably a little bit longer. And in turn, what that did was that created more engagement. More people were leaving comments like, wow, love it. Great story. You're incredible. Such an inspiration. That kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
Am I on target
here? Yes, you know your stuff. This is exactly what I learned from you guys. So this is exactly how it works.
Yeah, exactly. So that's fantastic. That's great. And also all this stuff works, Brett, in anything. So for example, for you, like one of the things that I love doing, it gets me in trouble sometimes because I'm throwing so many ideas at people, but what I want to just say is the application of this style of marketing, direct response marketing. And direct response marketing is where we solicit a specific response from somebody. And we bring them to a landing page and we ask for their email. We bring them to a sales page. We ask them to buy one thing, right? It's a direct response. Infused with storytelling style copy and videos. When we use those marketing strategies, that sort of style of marketing, which is the marketing that we teach here, and then you combine that style of marketing with selling information. Now you happen to apply it to selling a physical product, but imagine this, that sometime down the road, doesn't have to be right now, but sometime down the road, you say, or immediately, whenever you wanted to, you said, I want to take some of these martial arts skill sets that I've been teaching people in a live room, and I want to package that into a course, something that somebody can go through and watch the videos inside of a membership area. That I sell them for a couple of $100, $500, $1,000, whatever it is, right? And now I've taken this information, I've packed it into a course, and I'm selling it using these direct response marketing strategies infused with story. That's just one example, right? Here's another example. Let me just, because sometimes when we live and breathe this stuff, we begin to see, oh my gosh, how many different ways can I make money with this knowledge? Your girlfriend or your fiance has a successful e-commerce business. So using the strategies and the techniques that she's learned, she not only continues to run her e-commerce business, but she turns around and she creates a course and a coaching program to teach other people exactly how to use direct response marketing and storytelling, and actually teaches them how to run a successful e-commerce business as well. See, selling the information.
Yeah.
See, the world of opportunity. Now it's not good to try to tackle too many ideas at once. But my point here is that when we begin to learn these skill sets in this business model, we start seeing the world through a certain set of glasses. We see opportunity in so many different forms. What's coming up for you as I'm saying this, Brett?
Actually, no, me and my fiance, we already talk about it, and you know, every time I learn something new from Legendary, then I tell her, because she always, hey, tell me because it works, so tell me. So I always tell her, and then she's like, hey, you know what? We can later do like webinars, or we can teach people here in Czech Republic how to do it, because nobody's doing it. And like you said about like my martial arts, I know that I cannot teach it, you know, how to defend yourself basically through the video, but because we have a couple of fighting principles that are actually, you can apply them to a business. So I want to later do the mindset training from like martial artists to a business, and how it actually helps, how it helps each other. So I plan this for the future, that is for sure, because I believe that these Asian fighting or philosophical principles can be applied very successfully. And this is what we really want to plan.
Yeah.
So
I'm thrilled to hear that. I want to give you guys who are on this, how would you like me to give you a secret hidden marketing gem that's completely free? Everybody can access it. Okay.
I want. I want
to show you something that's so cool. Okay. So cool. All right. Watch this. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you something that's absolutely so cool. And it's going to be actually two things. All right. Let me know that you can see my screen in 3, 2, 1. Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Look, let me tell you something. Okay. First and foremost, this little website's called swiped.co, and it's a place to where you can come and get like all these different old marketing letters, sales letters, stuff like that, from different copywriters, different niches, all this different kind of stuff, right? Well, there's self-defense. If you just go on this site, there's self-defense.
Crazy.
And what? Hold on a second. For whatever reason, that didn't bring up my results. Let me see if they're right here. Hold on a second. All right. So what I did was I Googled swipe self-defense, and it did come up with 3 swipes. So you just kind of got to, work the site a little bit and try different keywords. But self-defense is actually one of the hottest niches over time. It's, for whatever reason, you might put it under the health niche, the health umbrella, self-defense as a sub niche. But there's some really successful ad campaigns and some successful marketers that worked inside of the self-defense niche. Because I mean, people who are like, you would probably consider them maybe in America, we call them 2A, Second Amendment. That's your right to carry arms. People who are interested in protecting themselves. They're that's just on the forefront of their mind. But who doesn't want to be safe? Who doesn't want to protect themselves? Yeah. So on this site, there's some great examples of some sales letters of different marketers and different copywriters who have wrote really, really powerful and successful sales letters for self-defense programs. Another one, this guy is pretty legendary. His name's Matt.
Yeah, I know him. I know this guy.
Okay, yeah. Matt Fury. Now, you may know Matt Fury as the self-defense guy, okay, or the fitness program guy. But what Matt Fury really is, Matt Fury is also a world-class copywriter. He's also a world-class copywriter. And one of the reasons why you know him, and one of the reasons why he's been so successful, is because not only does he have the information and the knowledge about martial arts, but he also has learned the skill sets to be able to sell his training in his information. And so this is a great example. You could probably go and look him up, Matt Fury self-defense, and find tons of stuff from him. And if you looked at it and you studied it, right? If you looked at it and you studied it, then this would be a absolutely, and here's some of his products over here. It's probably going to take us to a sales letter. There you go. It's a sales letter, right? So it's going to show you, it's going to model for you how exactly Matt Fury has used these direct response marketing principles to be able to sell all this is the business of selling information. Brett, what's coming up for you as I'm going through this?
That is like, because I know Matt for like really long time, and I've bought a couple of his books. So I really think it is a lot of information right now telling me, yes, I should definitely try something like this. And I just have to come up with the right idea and the format.
Well, see, what I'm doing here is just, it's not particularly throwing it on to you, Brett, to say you should go out and do this right now. It's good for you to take the time to practice the skills, take your time to really decide what niche you want to land in, okay? Because this may not be the niche that you ultimately want to continue to stay in. But what I'm trying to do for you and everybody else who's listening is to help you to realize that these direct marketing principles, these skill sets that we teach here at Legendary, can be applied to literally any niche, okay? To any niche. And there's so many great examples out there. Matt Fury being one of the best in the self-defense niche, that when you both learn the skills and you also see it being modeled by somebody else who's, quite frankly, this guy's a legendary marketer, you begin to realize, oh, wow, I literally can apply these principles to any niche that really exist out there. And one other thing that I want to say to all of you guys who are from different countries, I see a lot of people who come into Legendary and they say, oh, I'm in Czechoslovakia, or I'm in Bulgaria, or I'm in Norway, and I'm on TikTok, and it's only, the algorithm's only it's only showing my content to people within my country. Well, that may actually be to your advantage, because there's likely nobody else in your country that's doing or talking about maybe the topic that you could be talking about within that country, whether it's self-defense in doing it in that way, or whether it's how to make money online, or whether it's, example after example after example. So entrepreneurship, my friends, is not about trying to fit into a box, which is what society trains us to do. And I see so many people come into our community and they're trying to fit into a box. They're trying to be like everybody else, and they're seeing the glass half empty. Entrepreneurship and being successful, particularly as an online marketer, is about looking at a scenario and asking yourself, how can I make this work to my advantage? Because there are no promises. There are no guarantees. This is the real world. Nothing's handed to you. Even because you're learning these skills doesn't mean that your success is guaranteed. It's up to you to figure out how to apply these skills in a way that can create riches or wealth or help you achieve your goals, right? There is that element that nobody can teach you or give to you. And that's the missing piece. Because some of you guys have gone through tons of courses or whatever, and it's like the only piece that you're ever missing is just that piece of grit and creativity to where you connect the dots from what you're learning to how you can make it your own. Everybody's always, tell me exactly what to do. And that's like a factory worker. That's like an employee's mentality. Tell me the exact button to hit. My boss doesn't tell me exactly what button to hit. And it's like, well, guys, this is not a job. We're not your boss. Even if you buy training here, it's like think about it. If you went to college, Brett, the professor's not, even in the real world, in the employee world, the professor's not going to come out to the job and say, okay, buddy, here's how to fill out the application. Here's the different places that we're going to go and apply for that, right? It's like, so at a certain point, we got to grab our big boy and big girl pants and pull them up and say, okay, how can I use this situation to my advantage? how can I take the skills that I'm learning, no matter where I'm at in the world, and maybe the previous expertise or information that I know, and how can I turn this into a business? And that is like the missing ingredient. It's like somebody can give you 99%. And I feel like Legendary here, we give people as much as we can humanly possibly give them. But it's like there's that one last missing piece to where you actually have to put on your creator hat, take off your consumer hat, and put on your creator hat, right? And actually apply and test and be willing to fail forward and be willing to take some risk. And that leads me to asking you if anything's coming up for you. But I also want to ask you about that quote that's behind you: a journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a simple step. So I'm talking about exactly that. So why did you write that on the back of your board for this interview today?
Because I believe that if you want to do something, it can be, I don't know, I want to make coffee in the morning. So the coffee will not just magically appear in my hand, like here, right? It happened magically, but I had to, normally I would have to go and I have to press a button and create and make the coffee, right? So I have to take some kind of step towards it. It will not happen just by magic. And you know, when I teach martial arts, I get so many students. Hey, I want to learn how to fight. I said, okay, so do this. And I show them something and they look at it. I'm like, no, I want to know how, if somebody give me a punch, what to do. I'm like, no, do this first. And they're like, no, but you know, this is like, I don't want to do this. I want to really know what, you know, what I told you. I said, yeah, you know what? You have to have some first steps, some basics. Without it, your mind will not be ready to basically face the fear, or you know, you will not be able to defend yourself if I just show you, because your mindset is not set up right. And I think that people need to, and it can be applied to business. If I think that I buy some done for you course or system or software that I press button and I make $1,000 next week, then I will wait maybe another 100 years before that happen. So you know, I think that if I know that all I have to do is create landing page, set up autoresponder, send traffic, see how it's converting, see how my email is converting, and tweak it inside for the best conversion, well, that's it, I guess. So this is the action I had to take. I have to now learn how to create a landing page, how to do the autoresponder, how to connect it, and how to measure the results. And it will not, just because I will buy Legendary, it doesn't mean that I know it, or that it will just happen like that. You know, I have to apply it and I have to do it. And that's basically the step I have to do. First step is to decide what I really want. And if it is making money online, then okay, next step would be decide how and what I want to do. Do I want to have my own product? Do I want to be affiliate? Do I want to do, I don't know, YouTube? I have to figure this out. Once I have it, then I can go the next step. But before, if I cannot decide this, then I cannot actually apply the next step and the next step and the next step, because I don't know what to do and I don't know where I am going.
The point that you're making is you have to make decisions.
Yes.
You have to make decisions. That's what I'm hearing from what you're saying. And I think what you're saying in terms of you have to make decisions along the way is such a key thing. And so many people, for whatever reason, Brett, are unable, indecisive, or unwilling to make decisions. Because when you make a decision, then you have to live with the consequences of that decision, whether good or bad.
Yeah.
And so many of us are not willing to live with those consequences and take that risk, right?
Yeah. You know, Dave, I noticed through teaching my martial arts, I noticed that I always say people that when I teach, hey, my school and my class is like life. But in life, when you do mistake, right, you see the mistake within 6 months, year, 10 years, and then you realize it was a mistake. But in my martial arts classes, if you do mistake, you get hit. So, and you see it very fast. Hey, you made mistake. And if you can't decide, if you cannot decide I'm gonna go for it now, then you basically are going to be slower than the other guy who decides that he wants to do it now, and he will hit you. And if that will not wake you up, then you will never be able to succeed because your decision process is too slow.
Wow.
And I think that this is what every time somebody comes to my classes and I show them some stupid basic thing, and I see that they are not able to do it, and I come to them and I say, hey, you know, do it like this. Do you understand what I say? If I explain, I show them, I explain to them, and they say to me, yeah, I can. But then I go around and I see that they do it only once and think they know it. And then they, hey, what else do you want to teach me? I'm saying, oh, show me what you learn. And I see that it's not the way I showed to them. So I said, look, you know, I don't say them personally, but sure. in my head, I know that if person is, I am explaining something, I'm showing them, and I even take their hands and do it with them. And then they are not willing to actually practice. Yeah. Then I know that he will quit within 2 weeks. Yes. And I know that he will quit always in everything. It doesn't matter if he's doing martial arts or if he's going to the YouTube channel or move, he will always quit. So I like,
wow. This basically, it's like you're telling my story of seeing people go through something very simple training to where you only have to watch videos, and we instruct them to do something, and then they do it their own way, or they try to take a shortcut, or they go into the Facebook group and say, can anybody just do this for me, or just give me a quick tip or whatever, and unwilling to just follow the guidance that we're giving them. And then you're right, quit, disappear, complain, whatever. That's so interesting that there's such a similarity between.
It's very similar.
Very similar. It's very amazing.
Because I really, that's why I think that every time somebody comes to my martial arts, I teach them self-defense, but it's only a vehicle to teach them some new habits in their mind. And like I had this student who was skinny, tall, and really no coordination, no nothing. And I thought he will quit because every time I tell him something, I said, no. And he heard like my no like 1,000 times. And now after 3 years, he is helping me to teach other students. I asked him, hey, why did you start martial arts class with me? He said, I've never wanted to do martial arts. I just wanted to do something for myself. And when I came to your classes, it was different than just martial arts because you taught me how not to give up. Yeah. And I said, this is what I want for all my students. And now I can actually, because I cannot teach this physically one-to-one, I would like to do this in the future through business, because I think that martial arts and business mindset is the same.
Brett, I want to ask you a question. I know that you're doing make money online content in your marketing. Do you use the martial arts analogies, and do you talk about martial arts a lot?
Actually, now this call is the first time I do it live or on the video. I've planned to do this. But I just need to have.
Do you want to know why I asked that? Is because I'm just going to tell you why it's so powerful. And this, I think, is a great example for all of us to learn right now in this instant and in this moment, how to take our current, whether it be job or knowledge or even current identity, right? Because your identity really, I mean, you've even got the martial arts shirt on today, right? Is that the logo from your studio or something, or not?
No, this is, can I show you something?
Sure.
Can I show you something? See. We were in Taiwan with my fiance after we become successful with our e-commerce store, and they had like this store with really cool shirts, Asian style. And I said, I'm gonna, they were expensive, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna get them because nobody will have this in Czech Republic, and I have like pants and everything. And everybody look at me like, what is this? On the airport, they thought I'm kind of like mafia guy with all these Yakuza things, and I didn't care. I just like it.
Yeah.
And
well, that's cool. Okay. I thought it. I don't want to. I want you to miss my point, and I don't want everybody else to miss my point either. Look, Maurice Ellison just said he's doing storytelling. This is so cool. Maurice picked that up. Listen, Brett, this martial arts metaphors, analogies that you're using, you are magnetic. You are.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna be like shy like from this. No, thank you very much. I really appreciate Dave.
I want everybody to really understand this, is that Brett is using his current knowledge and experience to apply those stories and that confidence that he has to a topic that's maybe not his core competency or not his, right? He's kind of, his YouTube channel is about creating streams of income online, basically making money online. His TikToks are about making money online. And when I ask you, Brett, do you talk about, martial arts in that? You said not really. And it's kind of interesting because they're saying master storyteller. I mean, here you are, Brett. Here you are. You're in your zone right now. You're talking about martial arts, this thing that you've done. Now, each one of you who are listening to this or who are going to listen to this in the future, each one of you has your own martial arts. You have your thing that you've done. For me, it was construction, right? And that's kind of interesting because we have business blueprints, right? It's kind of interesting because I always told the story about my old truck, right? And going to work with my dad working construction. And then I even gave my dad a new truck, right? There's all these similarities that I use to teach marketing, that I use to teach people how to make money online. So what I'm inviting you all to do, to think about, is to think about how powerful it can be when you apply storytelling. And what is storytelling? You never tell a story without making a point. You never make a point without telling a story, right? So stories are some of the most powerful ways to prove your point, to make the point that you're trying to make. And we tell stories, sometimes we use metaphors. A metaphor is I'm telling somebody else's story, or I'm telling a story that doesn't particularly apply to me. Or an analogy. A metaphor and an analogy are the same thing. Or a parable, if you want to talk about a story that's related to the Bible, right? A lot of people look at the Bible and they say, well, those are parables, right? Those are stories that may or may not be true, but Jesus used them, or who, I'm sure other religious leaders, Muhammad or whoever else in other religions use the same thing. Joseph Smith in Mormonism. These parables are used because people understand story and metaphor and analogies when you make a point by using an analogy that they can understand. For example, I'll show you a quick one right here, and I use this all the time. And it's you're immediately going to recognize it. But I always talk about the mechanics and the dynamics, right? The mechanics are the, where to click and how to, you're setting up your autoresponder and what funnel builder are you using and kind of all this stuff. And the dynamics are, learning how to not quit and learning how to do some of these things that, understand your psychology, work on your discipline, things of that nature. Well, I use the analogy of the iceberg, right? Because the iceberg is like, the mechanics are like the way in which something is done or operated, the practicalities or details. That's like your autoresponder or setting up your Facebook ad, right? That's like a mechanical thing. And everybody puts all the focus on the mechanics as if they're the most important part of the business. And they are important. It's just they're not the most important. The most important are the dynamics, which is the forces or properties which stimulate growth, development, or change within a system or process. That means your ability to be able to, like we were talking about a second ago, take an instruction, make a decision, apply it, and then follow through with it, right? That's the first step of actually being successful with something. Well, that's part of the dynamics. It's the ability to be humble enough and patient enough to take instruction from the teacher and apply it. And the reason why this analogy is so powerful is because it makes my point for me so easy, because I can explain to somebody the mechanics, which are probably what you think are the most important thing. What funnel builder should I use? How to connect my autoresponder? What my domain name is going to be? The colors of my brand, whatever. These are the things that people always talk about, right? The 99% of people who are unsuccessful, but the 1%, the people who are successful, wildly successful with what they do, they understand there's the mechanics and the dynamics. And the dynamics are part of that iceberg that you don't see, but it's really the most important part. And when I use that analogy, right? When I use that analogy, it helps me to prove my point, to tell my point, to make it simpler for people to understand. And so you're sitting here using martial arts and you're doing it, you're in flow. You're using it and you're relating it to business. And what I would invite you to think about, Brett, is to build your persona and your brand in what you do. If you're going to talk about making money online in your content, to build it around your persona as a martial arts instructor, because it's different, it's unique, and it would allow you to be able to talk about things that you understand and use them as metaphors and stories and relate them to business. And I would also invite all of you guys here to think about what you have an expertise or experience in. And when we create a brand and we tell a story in our business, it's important that there's details, right? That's like how I use the construction worker and the ex-recovering addict. And I put those pieces together so you can get there's depth to me as a marketer. There's depth to me as a brand and as a spokesperson for this company, right? Which is part of the reason when I talk to people, they're like, wow, when I watched the video, Dave, of your sales video about the challenge or whatever, it was so genuine and authentic. And I just felt like you were a real person. Well, because I told you stories about me and I allowed you to get to know me. And I put what I was saying in terms that you would understand it. Construction worker, I told stories about that. So Brett, I would just invite you to think about that, my brother, because it really is a powerful, powerful tool that you have that I think is sort of like an untapped gold mine.
It is untapped just because I really thought until today, and because I really thought about this for a really long time, but until today, I thought that nobody would ever want to listen somebody speaking like who is a martial artist, like I thought that it's like, what is this? It's kind of like crazy moves, and how can they know about business, for example?
That's interesting. You're such a smart guy. And see, it does not matter how smart or intelligent we are. We come up with these stories inside of our head that are not in our best interest, right? And so that's why I really invite all of you guys who are listening today to really not to try to look at what are the tools that I have at my disposal. And look at it objectively, not look at it with your own emotion tied to it, because surely we are sick of hearing ourselves talk because we've been listening to ourselves our whole lives. But when we can deliver what we're saying in a unique way, this is one of the biggest things that I think is overlooked in marketing, is that when you deliver what you have to say, it's unique and it's different. There's an element, I want everybody to write this word down: novelty. Novelty. What does novelty mean? Novelty means new, right? New. And when people feel like they've come across something that they've not seen before, they're interested. But if they come across something or someone that they feel like they've seen before, it's kind of like when I was growing up, I was going to school. Sneakers were a big deal, Jordans. So if I came to school with a pair of Jordans that all my friends had seen before, they'd be like, man, I've seen those before. But if I came to school with a pair of Jordans that nobody had ever seen before, here's what they'd do. They'd go, damn, damn, I ain't seen those before, right? The reaction would be totally different. So one of the reasons why one of the biggest breakthroughs for me in my marketing career was when I stopped trying to look and sound like everybody else, and I really embraced my uniqueness, my story, the elements about my life that I could use in my marketing to, when somebody heard me or came across the video, they might not go, damn, but in their head, you know what they would do? They'd say, this is different. I've not heard. And it's not even, it's just a subconscious thing, Brett. It's not even a conscious thing that people do. They just, when they hear you framing things in talking about business or making money online or whatever you're talking about, in a way that they don't hear other people talking about it, it's novel, it's new, and it will separate you from the masses. So think about it, brother. And I'm here to help you and give you feedback. I want to see you use the tools. I want to see everybody using the tools that you have at your disposal to be the best version of yourself and as successful as you can be. How's that feel, brother?
Oh, it feels awesome. It feels like now I don't know why is that, but when I hear you talking about this is exactly what I had in my head about exactly this. But for some reason, our brain really come up with the idea that, oh, nobody wants to see martial arts things, you know. But now I know that because it's who I am. I really like to talk about it, and I started teaching martial arts when I was 15 years old, and I remember when my teacher said, "Hey, now you're gonna go in your city and you're gonna teach," and I said, "But there's gonna be people. What if there's gonna be people who are like 35 years old, 40 years old, and I'm only 15? How they are going to listen to me, right?" And you know what he said? He was like, well, you have to make them to listen to you. And I was like, okay. So I start teaching, and if they are older than me, I say, hey, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. And usually when I was already like instructor, so they were listening and nobody did problems.
I want you to tie this story into something that has to do with what you talk about every single day, making money online, whatever. So finish this story, and then I want you to tie it into a point about making money or about what people need, a skill set or a something that I want you to tie it in somehow to people starting a business online.
So basically the idea was that I have to change something inside me to not only act like I am the boss in there, because this is my school, this is my classes, and these people are there because they want to learn something from me, right? So when this change happened and I start teaching, nobody ever come up to me and said, hey, why should I listen to you? You're only 15? Because whatever I told them was correct. So now I think that people who wants to do business, and it doesn't matter what kind of business it is, they just need to be their boss. They just need to have in their mind the same thing that, hey, my product is the best because I believe in it and I am the creator and I think that it will help you to do X, Y, Z. And if you think that you create product, but you think, oh, nobody will read this, then nobody will read this. So it's really, it's everything in the mindset.
You see that, brother? You see how you, now that made your point that you were making, right? The point that you made there at the end, it made it so much more interesting because you tied it into an analogy, right? From a story that you told from your own life, from martial arts. And I just walked away from that. If I was the listener of a video that you were creating, thinking, you know, he's right. If the only way for me to get somebody to listen to me is I got to stand up in front of the damn the class or the crowd or the camera, and I got to fucking act like the boss. I got to act like I know what I'm talking about, and I gotta project myself as I know what I'm talking about, or else nobody's ever gonna listen to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Light bulb moment. So, and now I'm indebted to you, Brett. Now I'm thankful to you. I'm leaving comments on your YouTube. I'm subscribed to your email. I'm buying things that you recommend, because that one simple story was so powerful, because you put it in terms that I could really understand it. Instead of just preaching or teaching, you used a story in your own life to be able to deliver that message. And it landed for me so much more powerfully. And I knew you'd do it. I knew you would do it because you've been doing it all your life. You've been teaching people all your life. And what I think we all can realize is we've been communicating, talking, telling stories. Even if you haven't been teaching, you've been hanging out with buddies. You gather people around, you tell a story, you talk on the phone to your girlfriend, whatever. We all have this unique ability to be ourselves and to tell stories and to share thoughts and do them confidently. You don't think when you're talking to your friends, you don't go, God, I wonder if they'll listen. You just go, boy, listen to this shit right here. You ain't going to believe it. Right. And we talk like that. And then all of a sudden we get in front of a camera like, well, hello there, guys. I'm making a video. I don't know if anybody's going to listen. And then you jump off the video and you get back on the phone with your boy and you're like, yo, what up, bro? Yo, check this shit, right? And then we go back. So it's just about transference of emotion into what we're doing. And some of you guys may say, well, what if I don't know something? Or what if I don't have success yet? Or whatever it is. It's like, well, you do know so much. You're listening to these shows. You're going through our curriculum. And quite frankly, if you dadgum used what the hell we're teaching you, you would get results. So that's amen, brother. Yeah. It's like you got to follow through with this stuff. If you follow through and you make a decision to actually use it, you will get results. And things will change. But Brett, I got to go. But this, brother, this has been an absolutely I could talk another hour because I'm fired up this Monday morning.
Look, I could talk about stuff like this also, because especially when I first started with Legendary and I've seen these videos like this one, I said, man, Dave is a really cool guy. I wish I could hang out with him. And within a month, I got an email saying, hey, I was going to have this call. Can you do it? And I said, yeah, of course I want it, because a month ago, I actually wished for it. So that's cool. And man. I didn't know it's going to be like that good with what you just said, because right now, after this call, is like, I know that exactly what I have to do, because I have to be just me,
Yeah. Well, brother,
so thank you for that.
Thank you for being willing to come on and give your time and come back and share your story. It's absolutely my privilege. And we will hang out in person one day, my brother. And I can't wait to give you a big bear hug and learn a couple of moves too, my brother. Okay, I wanna you might have wanted to learn what I know, but I want to learn what you know, brother. And you know what? My hope for you is that you don't save it for me. My hope is that you go out and you share what you know in a way that can help you build a business and help other people. And then I'll go watch some of your videos. You don't have to wait to start teaching and sharing your knowledge until you see me, brother. I want you to go out and share it with the world, and then come back in 3 months and tell us how it's gone. Okay.
Cool. Thank you. I will do that.
All right. See you, Brett. Talk to you soon, buddy.
See you, Dave. Bye.
All right, my friends. Have a fantastic Monday. More value delivered today than most people charge in their $997 courses. Can I get an amen? All right, my friends. I love you all. Go and follow Brett. I don't know if we've got his thing up. He's got a YouTube channel, Success with Brett. He's got a TikTok channel. We've got it up there. Go follow him on TikTok. Connect with him. Hold him accountable. Say, I want to see some of those analogies and stories about martial arts tied in with some of your marketing and your content. and let's lift him up. All right. And let's continue to connect with everybody inside of this community, because one of the best things that we can do is to, connect with each other and lift each other up. That's what this is all about. All right. So, we'll see you tomorrow. Be legendary. Have a fantastic day. Get the hell out of here, would ya? See ya.